heavyweight special attraction, the heart-punching David Tua, the #1 contender from South Auckland, New Zealand, takes on Shane Sutcliffe, the Canadian heavyweight champion, 21-8-1 with 12 KOs. Two of the nicest young men in boxing today. Two very tough guys in the ring. Hello again, everybody. I'm Bob Sheridan, along with Al Bernstein tonight. Welcome to the MGM Grand Garden Arena. This first fight of the evening will be a barn burner. Al, what a great pleasure it is to be working with you. I've watched you so many times, and we've been friends for ages. Now I'm your neighbor here in Las Vegas. Great to be working with you.
We should have a lot of fun this evening, and we'll have, I think, a lot of good boxing to call, including this first match.
Well, you know, these guys have a couple of common opponents. They both fought Crincha Wainwright, and they both fought Oleg Maskayev. They both won their fights. Tua defeated Wainwright with a 6-round victory, while Sutcliffe took on Wainwright and won a 10-round decision. Oleg Maskayev, though, knocked out Sutcliffe, and David Tua TKO'd Maskayev in the 11th round. So there's the big difference in the common opponent battle.
Well, and the difference you can see is power. David Tua, as you looked at him a moment ago, is a very powerful fighter. He knocks out 82% of his opponents. Sutcliffe, only 40% of his opponents have been knocked out. So the power is the big differential in this fight.
And it's a huge differential because David Tua has learned to throw his right hand. And with the ability to throw the right hand, I vault him to #1 position of all the #1 ranked heavyweights of the world today. He is a terrific fighter, and you're going to love seeing him. If you haven't seen David Tua, he's coming off of July 17th, 1999, first-round TKO assault of Gary Bell. Before that, there was Hasim Rahman, might be probably the best fighter that he's fought. A 10-round decision, had to go the distance in that. And before that, Eric Curry in 98, first round. Before that, Nate Tubbs felled in 2. And before that, Cleveland Woods in 3 rounds. And then he went 10 rounds in March of 98 with Jeff Wooden in Pikesville, Maryland. This kid can bang. He's getting bigger. He's fighting tonight at 238 pounds, which is a pound heavier than his last fight, about 10 pounds heavier. We'll take a look at the tail of the tape. And Al, this will tell us a few things, but it won't tell us the accuracy of the smaller guy being the heavier guy. As we take a look at the tail of the tape, you see anything interesting there?
Well, Tua, smaller in stature and obviously gives away a lot in reach, but that's always the case with him. What he does is work his way inside where he can land that big left hook, or as you said, the right hand, which is much better now.
Well, these, as I mentioned at the very top, are two of the really nice kids in boxing today. Shane Sutcliffe is an interesting study. Turned pro at 17. He was 194 pounds. He beat Leon Spinks, a former heavyweight champion of the world who beat Muhammad Ali. He beat him at age 18. He sparred with guys like David Tua. You take a look at the rules, 10-point must scoring system, no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight, and a fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. This kid, Sutcliffe, Al, I think, is still learning his craft. He fought, 21 tough men contests. He's used to fighting in Montreal. He said that he wouldn't be too excited about the crowd here at the MGM because he fought in front of 15,000, 20,000 at the Montreal Forum. Here's Jimmy Lennon.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we present a special attraction coming away, and it's all brought to you by America Presents, in association with Showtime Championship Boxing and the MGM Grand. Introducing to you the judges as appointed, all 3 of them appointed by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Scoring them out from ringside, we have Cindy Barton, Dwayne Ford, and Dick Houck. And introducing to you our referee in charge of this bout, we have Jay Nady. All right, fans, here we go with the big boys of boxing in the ring. 10 rounds of boxing in the heavyweight division. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, he is wearing black trunks with gold lettering, fighting out of Montreal by way of Nanaimo, British Columbia, Canada. He weighed in at 227 pounds with a record of 22 wins, 8 losses, and 1 draw. He has 13 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the former Canadian heavyweight champion known as the Canadian Thunder, introducing Shane Sutcliffe. And his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the red corner in this 10-round special attraction, wearing black trunks with white lettering, fighting out of and representing the south side of Auckland, New Zealand, by way of Western Samoa. He weighed in at 238 pounds. His record stands at 34 wins, 1 loss with 29 big wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the exciting USBA heavyweight champion and the current #1 ranked IBF contender, introducing a fighter known as David the Terminator Tua-Man Tua. Once again, the referee in charge is Jay Nady, now to give instructions. 10 rounds of boxing schedule.
Fighters, come to center, please.
All right, Jay Nady calls the combatants to the ring. Get their final instructions.
Okay. Any questions? I gave you instructions in the dressing room. You have 10 rounds. I want a good and clean fight. Obey my commands.
But it's scheduled 10 rounds. Yeah, this won't go 10 rounds. This tour is just too powerful for the Shane Sutcliffe, who's been in a lot of hockey brawls, but he never fell into a puncher like this guy, David Tua. By the way, we want to say hello to everybody on Network 3 down there in Auckland, New Zealand.
Yes, you are.
Clint Brown, man Kevin Barry's here with me. He wanted me to be sure and say hello to his wife, Tanya, and the twins, so we say hello to them, and Georgie Calvert and all the crowd down in Christchurch. We love the New Zealand audience, and glad that you're going to be with us for this one.
You got a lot of friends down in New Zealand, Bob.
I went out that bungee bridge in Queenstown and frightened the heart out of me. Frightened not as much as the earthquake here, though. All right, we're set to go. 2 big heavyweights. David Tua, big guy at 238 pounds. Shane Sutcliffe, 227. David Tua, to the right of your screen. The blonde hair is Shane Sutcliffe, the pride of Canada. He's going to be really having his work cut out for him here. Watch David. Watch his right hand. Watch his left hand. It's his left that he's famous for, but his ability to throw the right hand will make a big difference in this fight. This kid is every bit as intimidating as Mike Tyson was as a youngster.
He's a very aggressive fighter. Throws lots of punches. In his fight with David Eizon, a decision he won some years ago, he broke the record for the CompuBox company that counts punches. No heavyweight had ever thrown that many punches in a fight.
Nice left uppercut. He caught him with that time. He's got Sutcliffe actually a little rubber-legged already. The uppercut really starched him pretty good there. Sutcliffe, who's a tough kid, but he just hasn't run into the kind of power that he's going to run into tonight. A digging body shot by David Tua. This is just round 1. It's scheduled for 10, but as Al and I have said a couple of times, this won't go 10 rounds. Tua is in line for a world heavyweight title shot, and he may be the best heavyweight in the world today.
Ranked #1 by the IBF. He is having a hard time with Hasim Rahman, but eventually caught up with Rahman later in the fight and was able to knock him out.
He's showing a little bit of patience here. While he wants to be aggressive, he's showing some patience. He wants to line up a clean shot. There's the looping right hand. Nice left uppercut. Catches Shane Sutcliffe right in the jaw. Sutcliffe all right from that one, but that uppercut earlier really kind of starched him and straightened his legs out. Sutcliffe has got to be throwing with that jab. He stands like this, he's going to get croaked. He's got to grab and walk Tua back. He's got to almost fight Tua the way Owen Norris has got to fight Tyson. And if he doesn't, which he's not doing right now, he's going to get knocked out.
Well, the charm of what David Tua does is he doesn't throw just 1 punch at a time. He's a big puncher, but he will throw 2 and 3 punches at a time, big combinations.
A bloodied nose already from Shane Sutcliffe. It doesn't mean much, but it doesn't look too pretty. And he's a great-looking kid outside the ring. And as I mentioned, too, 2 of the real nice gentlemen in boxing today. I know David Tua's mom and dad, and I know they're watching down in South Auckland, New Zealand tonight. I want to say hello to Tui Barra and Mrs. Tua. And I'm going to be back to your home again in one of those church services in the Western Samoan people. Left hook on him. Right hand behind the ear. David right on top of him. He's showing patience here, Al, waiting to get a clean shot. Break! David in total command here in round #1. You see the time remaining inside of 25 seconds to go in round #1. I'm Bob Sheridan, with me, Al Bernstein, and glad wherever you're watching around the world, some 100 countries watching us around the world, glad that you're going to be with us. The kid you're watching now, David Tua, working on this blonde, handsome guy who doesn't look too handsome with his nose flattened out to his face right now, has got his problems with David Tua, the pride of Western Samoa out of South Auckland, New Zealand. Third man in the ring, Jay Nady, is round round number 1 is by the boards. By the way, the over and under in this fight, don't forget, gambling is legal here in Las Vegas, is 2 rounds. So if Sutcliffe can get by the next round, it's important.
Don't blow. Don't blow. Sure. Give it one. The jab is perfect. Double and triple up. You see, you can't miss it. Step to your right, Shane. Keep stepping to your right.
Here we take a look at the left hook of David Tua. Big weapon for him. And you see he doesn't throw just one punch. He'll throw a combination. And it's the second punch usually that does just as much damage. Sutcliffe, when he bends on the inside with Tua, has lots of problems. You somehow have to keep Tua at bay. It's not easy, but somehow you have to do it or else, which Rahman did in his fight with Tua for a long time, but then ultimately paid the price.
All right, coming up to round number 2, an interesting hairstyle by David Tua. There's his belt. That's the USBA championship belt. 34-1 with 29 knockouts is David Tua. Bob Sheridan, Al Bernstein here in this night of championship boxing, coming to you live from the MGM Grand Garden Arena here in Las Vegas, Nevada.
When Sutcliffe was 17 years old, he sparred with David Tua.
Work out there, guys.
So he was aware of him in the ring, but obviously that's a whole different experience. Now he is feeling the full brunt of those Tua punches.
You know, Sutcliffe fought some other pretty good guys. He fought Tyrell Biggs. He sparred with Riddick Bowe, and you mentioned the sparring session with David Tua, but it's a whole lot different when you don't have the headgear on it. It's for real, especially the way Tua bangs. Tua's showing patience. He knows he's supposed to win this fight. He's showing a little bit of movement. I'd like to see him with a little bit more trunk movement, a little more head movement, work on his skills, because it's not going to be this easy for him when he moves up to fight the big guys in the top 10 rank. Don't forget, David has not fought a top 10 rank other than Iviabuchi, who was probably the best fighter in the heavyweight division. There's the 2 uppercuts. One whistles past the chin, the other catches him pretty solid. We're in round 2. Nice left hook, and down he goes. Sutcliffe is down. He may not be able to recover. That was a good left hook. It's up to 4 and 5. He's up at 6 and 7. He says he's okay. He's not going to survive this round, Al. There's too much time remaining. It's all over. Jay Nady says no. Sutcliffe doesn't like it, but when Nady stopped the fight, his eyes were glassed. And now, 10 seconds later, he says, no, I'm not going to let you get hit anymore. And you know something now? A good stoppage by Jay Nady. I know people say this is professional boxing, like to let it go a little bit further, but he was going to get knocked out, and knocked out seriously. There's no sense to it.
Well, Nady took a long look at Shane Sutcliffe. At least he didn't arbitrarily do it without taking a good look at him. And clearly Sutcliffe was very hurt when he went down. And obviously Nady concerned about the fighter. Shane Sutcliffe's a warrior. He wanted to go on, but very little chance he wouldn't have gotten hurt in that round. And as you pointed out, 1:43 left in that round. There's no question that Tua would have finished the job. And you see why this young man is the #1 contender, and why he is so feared in the heavyweight division, and why against anyone he has a puncher's chance.
Al, again, it was that terrific left hook that caught him. I'm sure we'll see replays of the finishing blows of the fight, and we'll show you exactly what happened. But David Tua is a hurricane waiting to happen in the heavyweight division. All right, Al, here we go with the replays, and you can see exactly what happened here, folks, with that left hook.
Well, David Tua's calling card is the left hook. In that case, he was able to lead with the punch, get it in against Sutcliffe, and Sutcliffe went down in a heap. Shane did get up pretty quickly, and that's probably part of his argument for continuing the fight, but clearly he was hurt. Tua has not lunged in with that left hook like that very much during this fight, but it's that kind of leaping left hook that got Rahman in trouble after Tua had really been outboxed for a number of rounds. And that's the problem with fighting David Tua. You may outbox him over a certain amount of rounds. You may feel even like you have him in control, and then you get hit with something like that.
Well, he was hit high in kind of the temporal bone of the forehead. It was a grueling left hook, and that's why, as Al said, this guy is ranked #1 in the world, and to my money, he's the best heavyweight around today. When this whole matter between Holyfield and Lennox Lewis gets straightened out, whoever wins that, I don't believe is going to be around a long time as heavyweight champion of the world, although he will be the undisputed heavyweight champ. But depending on how things shake out with Akinwande and this guy David Tua, and the other top-ranked heavyweights in the world today. Guys like Abiyabuchi, who's in jail right now. You don't know what's going to happen. They're talking about deporting him, which means if they did deport him, he could probably fight again. And then you get Michael Grant and, of course, Mike Tyson, Galata and Rahman and Chris Bird and Kirk Johnson. Some interesting heavyweights. I can't wait till this next fight is over just to see how the heavyweight division shakes out.
And Michael Grant, of course, in the picture as well. And there are a lot of good heavyweights. And David Tua is a man, because of his power, that has to be reckoned with, especially with Ibuabuchi, who beat him out of commission for who knows how long. So it'll be intriguing to see. One thing David Tua, for all his power, has to be able to do, I think, in the future against real good heavyweights that have boxing skills, is sustained without getting hit so much, but he's working on that.
Well, David asked me to say hello to his mom and dad down in South Auckland, New Zealand. So hello, folks, and I'll be down there doing another fight broadcast, either for Kevin Barry or for Georgie Calvert very, very shortly. So I look forward to seeing you folks again, and I love that Samoan music at the church service they have down there. It's fantastic.
Sounds like you had fun down there.
I had a great time, Al. Jimmy Lennon has moved into position. We're going to make this official momentarily here as soon as Jimmy is set. And I think we're going to have an interview. Dr. Freddie Pacheco, the fight doctor, who works the American Network Showtime, is going in there. And we may be able to drop in on this interview and hear exactly what is said for our worldwide audience. By the way, we want to say hello to all our good friends in Australia as well, especially Bill Morty and my buddy Ray Wheatley, who writes one of the best boxing magazines in the world. Ray, thanks for sending it to me. I got to get you my new address here in Las Vegas because I don't want to miss your magazine. I pick up news about Don King Productions and the Duvas and all the promoters. Stuff I didn't know. This guy's got down in Australia. He's a great writer out.
Got to go a long way to get that information.
All right, here's Jimmy Lennon Jr. moving into position now, and we'll be ready for the interview with Dr. Pacheco. Here's Jimmy Lennon.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the time of 1 minute 20 seconds in round number 2, our referee in charge, Jay Nady, stops the contest. The winner by way of technical knockout, the IBF #1 heavyweight contender, David the Terminator Tua-Man Tua.
So it's official. Well handled by Ronnie Shields, who's done a great job working with his kid, and of course Lou Dover, the veteran, and Joe Souza. And Freddie Pacheco is moving into position from the Showtime network in the United States, and we are going to drop in on that and hear exactly what David Tua has to say. Remember what I said, one of the real nice guys in boxing. Here's Freddie.
Get him out early. You certainly got him out early. Do you think he should have continued?
First of all, hello, Nana. Well, you know, we worked very, very hard for this fight regardless, and it was only a matter of time. I mean, the thing is, he was disappointed that the fight got stopped. But you know, the way I look at it, the ref was a closing man to the action, and I feel that he gave him the opportunity from stopping himself from getting seriously hurt.
We're going to take a look as the fight is stopped. You can see the reason why. You tell us what you did.
Well, I was setting him up, you know, because I knew that he was looking for the left hook all along, so I was trying to come over the overhand right and trying to work him from the body. And you know, as you see there, as I was coming in, he was looking, and it was right there.
The way he went down, well, the reason they stopped it, the referee said he looked in his eyes, he wasn't focusing, he wasn't there, you know, and so they stopped it lest you do some harm to him. I think it was correctly stopped.
Well, you know, I feel that the referee did the right thing. Like I said, he was the closest man to the action, and he did him justice.
All right. Before we get on to the irrepressible Lou Duva and what your whole future life is going to be like, because Lou's going to tell you the whole life story, answer me one thing. Where did that haircut come from? It's what I call a minimalist haircut. See, most people have all the hair and then no stripe. You got hair and no, you got it backwards. That's a minimalist haircut.
Well, I figure, you know, David Tua's got a unique style of fighting, and David Tua's a unique individual outside the ring with everything he does. And you know, this explains being the #1 in the world, and that's what it stands for.
You are correct. You are the #1 in the world. Lou, where do we go? This is another unique, irrepressible man.
Well, he is #1 in the world, you know, and if you take a look at some of the other organizations, the so-called organization, they got #1 and #2. They got this kid, Johnny Ruiz, good fighter. But remember, David Tua knocked him out in 19 seconds. So anything they can do, anything, I would hope that politics don't enter in this here. I think the people are entitled to a good fight. It's about time there's a good fight. David Tua can fight Lennox Lewis. He can fight Evander Holyfield. He can fight Tyson. He's ready to fight anything.
Lou, I'll vote for you. I'll vote for you. Vote for the people. And thank you very much. Thank you for a nice night.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Showtime.
All right, Bob Sheridan back here with Al. How about the #1? I didn't pick that up at all. I just thought it was a hairstyle. He says